Greetings, welcome to the Lightroom forecast. This is a collective reading for this new moon in Aries. My apologies to all wonderful subscribers. I do appreciate it. I couldn't get in to do the full moon in Virgo reading because I was in the process of moving. So I've gone south and I'm back in my bolt hole after 2 years of basically being a nomad, just prior to probably literally a week before COVID broke out. So now I've kind of gone, not necessarily in a circle, but I'm back in my place, I suppose you could say, which is wonderful. I'm very lucky to have a place to come back to. So let's get into it. I did have a few thoughts yesterday morning, which I wrote down, I guess more of a upon waking, actually, around this period. A lot's changed. A lot seems to change in a very short time at the moment. So I'll just read it because otherwise I get slightly off track. But this Aries new moon really speaks of our vulnerabilities and insecurities, just being able to be comfortable about who we are in this world. This is me, I'm okay. I am vulnerable sometimes. I have insecurities. I think we get distracted by people's judgment and fearful of these things, which we really just need to sit with, create some space around them, understand them a little bit more clearly without being fearful. We are all unique. That is the way it should be. But the thread sort of attached to this was about a predatory element that seems to be very much existing. I mean, I'm speaking in terms of collective energy. Possibly, it is an element of humanity, predatory behaviour, but there's really strong thread of that element that feels really potentially waiting in the wings. Now I'll just read this, otherwise I'll just go on. Whether this is predating in human form or a general collective energy at the moment, it's important, really important, to shine your light and take no prisoners. Blast your light outward. Run the golden mile. We think of Aries blasting out of the starting blocks as that first sign, I am me. I am me. Express your vulnerabilities, acknowledge them, and keep moving forward. There is a sense of oncoming speed again, and I would always encourage love, light, and self-compassion, because of course this enables us to have a lot more compassion for others, but often respecting and expressing our internal warrior is in fact an expression of love, light, and self-compassion. So parry forward, everyone, on that note, and let's get into the reading. Let's get into it. We're using Morgan Greer to start off with today. So this is a collective reading, a general reading for the globe. We come out general energies. We've got overarching energies. We've got the Ace of Wands, which is a great, talk about running off the starting blocks, running the golden mile. We take the baton, as they are called in some decks, this Ace of Wands. It is about, it's about a whole manner of things like creativity, expression of will, a gift that comes to you that you can run with. But, largely it's really an infusion of life force. So we've started off pretty well there on this, or for this new moon in Aries. If you hear a lot of noise, there's some roadworks going on outside. We're looking at position of choice at this time within the collective. Something just popped. We have the Knight of Wands, so we're speaking very direct, no rumination, impulsive energy. Yeah, it is impulsive. I guess there's a caution around impulsivity, but this is blasting forth. This is expression at its height. That Knight holds that Ace of Wands. Traits for ease. Collectively here. Balance. Keep the balance in order. It's pretty self-explanatory, actually. There's a lot of energy to be taken hold of, to be taken advantage of, to embody at this time. But we need to remember that we always ultimately, ideally, have choice, which the Two of Cups is generally about. But we also want to foster more equanimity and balance, because that sets us off on a really good foundation in terms of what we're surging toward, what our drives, desires are. And moving forward on that note, we will clarify this. Moving forward, as this new moon in Aries resonates before and beyond, as a continuum, of course, or planets continuum. Moving forward, we get the Nine of Swords. This is an indicator, in my mind, too. We know the Nine of Swords to be a card of worry, almost obsessive worrying about what could maybe possibly happen or not. It's a pointless card. I guess the point of it is it tells us that, there's no point. We are here at this point in time, waking up at that, early hours of the morning, worrying about things that haven't happened yet is pointless, and sort of magnetize ourselves to attract possibly, more kind of unsettling and annoying energy moving forward with that Nine of Swords. I think I said Nine of Wands, but Nine of Swords. So let's clarify a little bit. After that, we're going to take a card from Brian Froud's Fairy deck, Fairy Oracle, and one from the Journey Map, my own deck here. So let's just see. We're going to clarify with my beautiful Thoth deck. And so I hope this finds all that tune in well. So we're getting far too many here. But what we did get, firstly, was this Prince of Wands. The younger version of the Knight, of course. Younger version of the Knight. More of an adolescent, you could say. Hot and cold, a little bit. A little bit hot and cold. There's a possibility, and there is a potential here, to elevate ourselves in the way that we go about doing what we do, actually. This experimental, risk-taking sort of energy here with the Prince of Wands. It's very wandy, isn't it? But we can see our choice really is to take a more mature approach with the Knight. And even this Knight is quite wild. Let's keep going. Let's have a little closer look at the Ace of Wands. So we're really focusing on that. The Ace of Wands, overarching energies for the collective. Yeah, this is a potential. There's a potential, there's an opportunity here to get to a calmer place, actually. We get the Six of Swords. Couldn't be more self-explanatory. The Six of Swords is about not only in a literal sense, finding a calmer place that is more conducive, that is more comfortable, but it's also getting through that battle of the mind. So we are mentally, psychologically, spiritually maybe, learning and moving to a natural sort of evolution, a different state. This is what life is all about, isn't it? That we have the opportunity to do that. Certainly if we look back and see where we have possibly gone off on the wrong track in the past. Let's look at the Knight of Wands, please. Knight of Wands. We get the Five of Wands, another wand, of course. In this card, when you look at, this is the Thoth deck, it's a beautiful sort of Egyptian image, in fact, here. We see those four wands sort of, somehow their power is diminished by that central wand. It really indicates a level of confusion, whether this is, on a personal level, just mental confusion about what to do next. What is the best way to express? In the Thoth deck, it's called strife because it is more so, to me, about a suppression of will in the Thoth deck, a suppression of what our true will is. We need to understand that. We can spend a lifetime learning to understand that. But we're looking at the Knight of Wands. It's pull back the reins a little bit. Pull back the reins, that's what they're there for. Here, looking at the Two of Cups in the position of traits for ease, which speaks of balance. The big B word, balance. Yeah, foster a level of self-responsibility and independence if you can. I don't believe there are any excuses not to do that. Sometimes we face trial in this. Often we do. We get the Nine of Discs, a beautiful card. Surround yourself with those people. This is a key here. Surround yourself with people who encourage balance. We're looking for a real medium ground here at this time. It's also, with this Two of Cups, there's a level of gentleness within this Two of Cups that not only speaks of love, but it really speaks, we all know, I think, of mutuality, of sharing what we have. Nine of Discs is a very independent card. Not only in the resources that you have, but what you have to offer. We are here to offer our gifts to others. Often insecurity and vulnerability can prevent us from doing that. Remembering experience of the past prevent us from doing that. But I think this current climate, it benefits all. It benefits everyone. So see your resources, what you have around you, and the people that you have around you. It's a very physical, earthy card, being a disc, the 9. And moving forward, manage this. Look, this is all in the gift. The gift, the gift, the gift, I say. We have the 9 of Swords, a card of catastrophic thinking here. To clarify it, we get the Knight. We get the Knight, another Knight. This is very action orientated. We need to act. We get the Knight of Discs. Now, this Knight of Discs is a consummate manager. We need to manage, if this is something that is a constant kind of thing. For some people it is, for others it's not. This catastrophic thinking, anxiety. I think anxiety is the great force at the moment for many people. We need to manage it in whatever tools are on hand for you. Meditation, creative outlets, music, nature, everything like that. If you can manage it as the Knight, the consummate manager, I mean, it's like a farm manager, a manager of people, a manager of, in some ways, time. In some ways, time, because it's a very Saturnian card. But with that, also, that comes out here. So we see this, and the storyline becomes quite clear. We have the beautiful magician. If we can master, I mean, honestly, if we can master our process at this time, we are succeeding here. Success isn't necessarily what we think of it to be. Juggling effectively can be successful. Translating can be successful. Can bring in many other things. We manage what we can. We understand and have a level of control over our own mind is the key here. I really like that. It's actually incredibly positive because we've got a lot of potential and a lot of force behind this where we can actually achieve it at this time. This new moon in Aries is pretty powerful, having just had the equinox as well. So let's have a look at Brian Frood, Pixie and Fairies. Can we just have one card? A little glimmer from Brian Froud's Pixie and Fairy, please. For this Aries new moon in this reading, which seems to indicate that we really, and this came out twice, we get the journeyman. We need to clean. I mean, clean the closet, clean out the house, get the Epsom salts out, give yourself a good soak, swim in the sea. We need to shed some stuff here. The journeyman is like the Fool. He has a very strong support system here, which enables him to walk off so confidently. You know, be your own fool at the moment. I mean, honestly. There is that feeling of don't let the past hold you back. Things are on the move. Things are changing very rapidly in this world at the moment. We don't want to become paralyzed by that. home is important, and yet we have the journeyman taking off. I think there's a paradox within this, because Lady of the Hearth represents this place where everyone is welcome, a place of nourishment of the soul, nourishment through food, sharing fire, sharing warmth. We can't do this. We had 2 journey maps come out with Atropos. This is sort of about like a personal paralysis where you just can't act on anything because you're so fraught with anxiety, catastrophic thinking, that you go into a kind of paralysis where your mind and heart are just not in working together to allow your will to be able to exert itself, to express itself, to know where it's going. There's a direct message here. And remember, these readings, I mean, this is incredibly general. It is for the collective, but there is a specific message here to seek out those of similar mind, or seek out those that you trust. People are resources. And I think more than ever at this current time, it's very hard to... The whole world has been impacted with the same things. I'm not marginalising being in a war zone or anything like that. I'm not in a war zone. I don't know what that's like, but I would imagine it's hell on earth. But there's a general feeling now that we can't actually put our blinkers on. Everything is impacting us. Now, whether that's a shift in our conscious, how would you say, energies, our perceptions, is there a shift in that? I think that there is. I think there is, and that we're picking up. We can't block it out anymore. We can't be in our separate little zones anymore. I do feel that. So, and it's interesting talking to various people even in other countries that talking of that is very hard to we are all connected, more so now than ever. So on that note, thank you for joining me at the Lightroom Forecast. I'll be coming in with all the readings for each sign over the next day or two for this new moon in Aries. So take good care. Thank you for joining me in my own new old zone. Ka kite, bye.